Greetings, humanity. There is no music this time, as it seems that I was too clever for my own good and was trying something out that is going to perhaps make this experience a little more streamlined looking this time, but unfortunately took out the sound in the process. We all learn things about Roll20 every day. But in any case, hi! Welcome to Channel Other Doc, where we are once again playing Fiasco by Bully Pulpit Games. I'm Jim. I use he, him pronouns, and I will be facilitating today. I'm going to go around clockwise on my screen and have everybody introduce themselves, and since we don't know what their characters are going to be yet, I'm going to ask them to say one interesting fact about themselves for our players today, and I'm going to start with Katie. Hello!
Hi, I'm Katie. My interesting fact, I don't have one. I'm not an interesting person.
That is a lie.
One time last year, I cried in front of Matt Mercer. Does that count? Like straight up, like snotty tears.
That counts. That definitely counts.
Yeah, that happened.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But I have to ask, what was the occasion?
I saw him at a con.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and just like straight up, just in line was like, I'm gonna be cool. Wasn't cool. No, not at all.
I have that every time I'm getting ready to go up to someone. I try to have sometimes if I'm lucky, theater mode will kick on for me, and I can just be, hey, how's it going? While in the back of, and I had that with I was at Dragon Con once. Short story. I was at Dragon Con once, and I met one of the actors who'd played Doctor Who back in the day, Sylvester McCoy.
Oh yeah.
And it wasn't even in line or anything. It was at a podcast awards ceremony, and he happened to have worked on something that was in there, and I had a bunch of friends there who were also podcasters. And I was up near the front of the line, and I told a friend of mine, I was like, break a leg, and then this little Scottish voice down at my elbow says, I see, I've broken mine already, you see. And I actually looked down, and he's sitting there with his leg in a cast. And
wow.
we bantered for a minute. Thankfully, theater mode kicked in, so I was able to chat with him. But all the while, in the back of my head, it was screaming, "You're talking to the Seventh Doctor!"
That's really cool.
That was so awesome. But that was much fun. And but let us proceed on round the clock. Tim, how's it going?
Hi, I'm Tim, and I have giant feet.
Excellent.
I have big feet, not like Bigfoot feet, but I have big feet.
This is good. This is that is from what I understand useful for various tasks.
I'm yet to find one.
Well, you never know. These things happen. These things happen to us all. But it is good. It is good. And going further around the wave on the sundial, Mark. Hello.
Hi, I'm Mark Kinney. I was my interesting tidbit here. I think I've mentioned it in other places before, but I was once mentioned in the acknowledgments of a romance novel.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That is awesome. You want to give us context, or shall we just leave it at that?
Well, I was on a mailing list involving some writing and all of that with a romance writer named Barbara Breton. And in one of her books, I don't remember if it was The Day We Met or At Last, one of those two, she mentions several people from that mailing list, and I was among those. So
cool. Very cool, man. Very cool.
I actually have a signed copy somewhere in my apartment here. I just don't know exactly where.
Excellent, man. Excellent. No, that is awesome. That is cool whenever something like that happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, today we're going to be doing the play set The Beast of Sucker Creek, and this time I'm actually going to read the setup out loud before we begin. I didn't do that last time, and so I just sort of threw everybody in, and they were waiting around crazily. But it was a lot of fun, so there was that. But here I'm actually going to do this for the benefit of the audience at the very least. This is called The Score that they have on most Fiasco play sets. The Beast Lives On. Sightings of a hairy, man-like creature in and around Sucker Creek go back hundreds of years. The legends of the Rayado people tell of Niteshi, the Strong One, who lived in the dark swamps of the Sucker Creek Basin. Since white settlement of the region, reports of blood-chilling cries in the night and occasional sightings of the beast have been a fixture of local gossip. Is it a madman? A crazed bear? Something strange and wholly new to science? No one knows. But those who have crossed paths with it are convinced of one thing. The beast of Sucker Creek is real, and you don't want to make it angry. This actually comes with a special rule that it doesn't matter to me if we observe it or not, but I just thought it's here as an afterthought. It says, the beast of Sucker Creek may be real or not, but by the end of the game, no conclusive proof of its existence can remain. If it is real and photos are taken, they must be lost or erased. If it is fake, they are obvious hoaxes. If the carcass is paraded down Main Street, it must later be devoured by wild dogs. If somebody has its baby, okay, that's fine, actually. And that's how they set that up. It doesn't matter to me whether we observe that rule or not, as long as we just play the game. That's really all that matters. So let us see here. We're going to go ahead and start setting up now. So what we're going to do is we have a bunch of dice that I'm going to go ahead and roll here. The way that I do this, so folks can who are playing this can see what's going on, is I've drawn a box around all the dice, and I right click and I go to, there's a context menu, it says multi-sided, and I click on that and it gives you random side or choose side, and I click random side, and that rolls all the dice. So they've now all been rolled, and I think, let's see, we have no twos.
No, there's 1 2.
Is there a 2? Okay. Are we? I don't see a 2.
And it's a black one.
That's weird.
Third row,
One,
second column.
Third row. Third. I see a. Okay, there's something really strange about the way this is showing up for me. Third row, second column. Weird. Okay. I'm getting. I've got like. In the second column, I've got a 5, a 4, a 6, and a 4. Well, let me just add. Are we
Where
happy?
your 6 is, I have a 2.
That is so weird. Let me try moving it a little bit.
It's moving
See
fine.
if anything happens.
Still looks like a 2 to me.
That
Yeah,
is so strange. Okay, so
That is weird.
I think just because, and it's showing up on my other one as a 6 as well. That is really strange. So I think I'm going to roll one more time just because then that way perhaps it will show
That's
up
so
correctly
weird.
for me. That is really strange. Okay, let me try that again. Random side. All right. Now, I'm going to go ahead and separate these out into what I see, and you can tell me if these are any different, and we'll just go from there. I'm still not seeing any 2s, but
Yeah, there's no 2s now.
Yeah.
Excellent, good. Because my question was, are you happy with that roll?
Weird.
That is so strange. It's like predictive in some ways. It's like a bunch of 3s. Are we happy with there being no 2s, or do you want there to be 2s in there?
It doesn't matter to me.
'Cause
That's
I will
okay.
I say play it as
Play
it,
as it lands.
Yep.
Alrighty. Okay. Moving all these around. That is so weird. All right. It's the beast is already having its effect on this
Yeah,
game.
clearly.
It's Roll20 is being very odd today. I'm just gonna say. Now, furthermore, it looks like we only have 1 6. If I'm reading this right, if it's showing up, does that look correct for?
Yeah, that's correct.
Everyone, okay. That is so strange. Okay, there we go. So now that we've done that part, we're going to go ahead and go around. The way this works when we're setting it up is we figure out our characters based on the relationships they have with each other and the details that they share with each other. We're each going to have share one relationship and one detail. And so we're going to start off with the relationships table to make life easier for everyone. And the way this works, if you will turn in your hymnals to the relationships page, you'll see there are 6 categories, of which there will be no 2s, so no swamp friends this time, sadly. But we'll have you have categories and you have elements underneath those categories. And the way this works is we fill them in, we go around filling them in, and it takes about 4 times going around to get that to work. So let's see here. What I will do, normally in Fiasco, the person who starts is the person from the smallest town. Now, I know Mark has played before, so it would be down to the 2 of us. Do you want me to just go ahead and go just for the sake of demonstration? Will that help everyone out?
Sure.
All right.
It's fine by me.
Let us do that. All right. So I'm gonna now copy this over to the far window so that I can see everything. So I'm going to choose for this first one. Let's see. We've got ones, everything but 2s. So this could be town friends, monster hunters, troublemakers, family, romance. We have to have monster hunters, so I'm going to take a 3. Also, we have many 3s. Not as many as we have 4s, but we have many 3s. And I think I'm going to put the monster hunters relationship. I'm going to put that between myself and Katie. So I'm going to drag that up here, and I'm going to go ahead and put that in. I'm going to go ahead and write that text on there, that we have the monster hunters relationship, and assuming that this will go for me, monster hunters. Might want to be a little smaller than that. Go down to 12. There we go. All right, monster hunters. And so we've got that there. And Katie, you get to go next. So you get to pick a die and choose. You can either define the monster hunters relationship with one of those dice, or you can put a new category relationship on one of the open cards.
Okay. I think I'm going to do a new relationship category.
Okay.
And I think I'm going to do troublemakers between me and Tim.
Okay. And do you want to drag the die? Cool. All right, so that's a 4 troublemakers. So I'm going to go ahead and write that over there. And Tim, you get to choose next.
All right. Let's see.
You can either define one of the 2 relationships that are already up or create a new relationship.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use one of these 5s to define the troublemakers relationship over here. Yeah, so we're conflicted witnesses. Or
Rival eyewitnesses. Okay.
Eyewitnesses, yeah.
All right. And so
Let's see. How do I define that then?
And so the way that works is I'm just going to, I just write that down.
Oh, you type it in. Okay.
Yeah. And actually, with some of these longer ones, I'm just going to copy and paste. So, there we go. And Mark, it's to you.
All right. I'm going to define an existing relationship instead of establishing a new one.
Mm-hmm.
As I'm looking on here, and I look under Monster Hunters, and I see number 6, Television's Rico, the Manhunter Sanchez, and local fan.
I almost picked that one. It was so good.
All right, let's see. All right, I'm going to copy that over. All right. There we go. And fans. We have to figure out who's who in a moment. But we'll do that when we get there. And it's back to me. So let's see. Let's use up... Alright. Yeah, why not? I'm going to grab one of these ones and create a relationship with myself and Mark. And as soon as I can get the grabber, there we go. We shall be town friends. And then that goes back to Katie.
I'm going to define that relationship.
Okay.
Let's see if you are former members of a prison gang.
Oh.
Okay. Excellent. Someone has just pointed out that there was a 3 grabbed instead of the 6. So
It's showing us a 6 on mine.
oh my!
Yeah, it looks like a 6 to me as well. This is very confusing, but
Oh, good lord. So let me just.
It's a 6 on mine too.
Oh dear God!
What?
What is happening? Okay, so quick check here. I'm moving this die. Does this look like a 6 to you folks?
yes.
I thought it was sitting over here just a moment ago.
It was, but it still showed a 6. So.
Yeah, it's been
my
a 6
gosh.
the whole time to me.
Mhm.
Okay, there's something terribly wrong, but I'm gonna do. I think what I will do is I will use my powers for good. Hopefully, does it
Okay.
look like a 6 now?
It's
No.
a 3 now.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought-
a 3.
Well, we already used the 6.
Yeah, we.
Oh, okay.
That's
And
what I'm
that
saying.
6 that you just moved over there looks like a 3.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's
I don't know what
Okay.
is happening, but
Well, just switch it. Yeah,
it is
there we go.
terrifying. I'm switching it over, and hopefully, let's see. Does
hopefully
okay.
everything else is.
Yeah, does everything look properly grouped to you folks right now?
Yep.
This is fascinating. Okay, but that's all right. We can luckily we can assign these things manually if we need to. So, all right, where were we?
I think it was my turn.
Yeah, I assigned you a relationship between Jim and Mark
Right.
as former members of a prison gang.
Former members of a prison gang. Awesome. Okay, will do.
So it's my turn now, and I'll
It
take
is.
the 4. I guess I'll define a relationship between me and Mark. Or not define it, I'll just make one, make
Yeah.
a new one, and it's going to be the 4, so troublemakers again.
Okay. Right.
Are
That's
there's 4
perfectly fine.
troublemakers? Or is that something else?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
is.
Okay, good.
Thankfully, the numbers on the Fiasco playset don't change. So that's all right.
Oh, we just didn't put one of the 4s over by the first relationship that was established over here.
Did we not? Oh, we did.
The
not.
one, there's just no die where they all move it over.
You're right. You're right, sir. Okay, and back to you, Mark.
Troublemakers. Let's see. Since that is the one that is left at the moment as the relationships go. What would be good?
Well, you're already in prison.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Well,
So
that just means that we
You
need to
were.
use one of those 3s now to be an escaped convict and accessory.
I get to be an accessory. Hooray! I mean, I assume
That could work easily.
it could. I mean, it still could go either way, but it would what we see so far anyway.
Is that the one you want to go with?
Yes.
All right. Okay, escaped convict and accessory, which I shall type in here. And it's back to me. So let's see what's left. Oh, we've got all the relationships filled in. So now we go on to the next tables. So the way this works is that we each have a detail. Now that detail can be a need, a location, or an object. By and large, they tend to recommend for a 4-player group 2 needs and then 1 of each of the others. But really, you do whatever you like. And this works exactly like filling in the relationships, except you get to choose which of the other 3 tables you want to grab from first, and then you choose a category and the thing under it. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fill in a need, I think, or I'm going to choose a need. So let's see, we've got a 1, we've got a couple 3s, we've got 3 4s, and a 5. I think I'm gonna burn one of those 4s, and I'm gonna go with to prove. And who do I want to do that to... They want to prove something. Yes, I think I will give that... I want to give that either to Katie and Tim or to Tim and Mark. Because it's like helps with motivation to other things. Of course, Rival Eyewitnesses is going to be interesting in that respect, because you'll both probably end up on opposite sides of that need. If whatever it is, which could be interesting. Escape Convict and Accessory might be, the why did I break you out thing. Well, no, they didn't break them out necessarily, did they? Or did they? We don't know. I think the more interesting way to go with this, for me, at least, is going to be, I think I'll put that over here. I think I'm going to put that over with between Tim and Katie. So that is to prove something, which we'll figure out what that is as we keep going. So it's now over to Katie. So you can either define that need, or you can choose another category from the need table or another table.
Okay. I think between Tim and Mark, I'm going to use that one and put the need to wreck.
All right.
I like the escape convict and accessory. You want to wreck something.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay, and it's to Tim.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to take a look at these tables again. I don't know. I think I don't feel like defining my relationship or my detail there.
Okay.
Not right now. Let's see. I think we're gonna put. Let's say. Sorry. There are a lot of options here, so.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna say. Let me see what dice do we have left. 5. Okay, I think that 5 is going to be. I'm going to put it under a relationship between Jim and Mark.
Okay, and which table are you pulling off of?
That's table 5. It's needs to contact.
3 needs. Okay. So.
Oh, if you don't mind.
Oh no, that's fine. That's fine. To contact. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. Like I said, we can grab from that, or we can back to Mark.
And if I'm correct here, I'm seeing, is it 2 3s and 2 4s left?
Yeah.
Yes, that is what I see as well.
Don't worry, I see it too.
Yay!
And of course, the last selection is wild, as I recall, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay.
The last one, when we get down to 1 die, and that'll be your choice. When we get there, it'll be whatever you want it to be, really.
I'm going to go to the objects list and take one of those 3s for a depressing object and put that.
Excellent.
In the between Jim and Katie.
A depressing object. Okay. And it's back to me. And now I'm only seeing 3 dice left.
That's what I see as well.
Yeah.
I think there's an extra one over. There's an extra one on the card between Katie and Tim. There's
Right. Yeah, there is. Sorry about that. I moved one over that was over there on my own.
So let's see.
I only see 3 there.
There's a 4 on the far right, and I'm going to assume it was that one.
Yeah, that's the one I couldn't see.
Okay. I'm going to guess maybe it's that 4. And pull it back over.
Yeah, so we have an extra 4, but that's a wild. The last die's wild anyway.
Yeah. Okay, so 3 or 4. And let's see, I can either define the depressing object or something else. Let's see. Let's see, and let me look under the needs again. So's to figure it out. Let's see, 3 and 4. That's interesting. All right. Oh, geez. This is not going to go well. This is not going to go well for anyone.
Too many 4s.
Yes, I know, right? Because that 4 vanished for a little while, I'm going to invoke the power of madness, the power of the streamer, and if you folks are okay with it, I think since we didn't know that was in play, would you be all right with my re-rolling that 4? One of the
Sure.
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm fine with that. Mhm.
Okay, it is now a 2.
Ooh.
Does everyone see a 2?
Yeah.
Yes.
I see it too.
Ah, good, excellent. All right, it gives us a slightly broader range here. Let's see. Okay. Okay, those are all good. Yeah, there's a lot here that one can play with as we go. So I got to make a decision. And I think what I'm gonna do. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna go ahead and define the. I'm going to define the depressing object as a. I'm going to take the 3, and it's going to be a pile of overdue bills and collection notices. As I think that's a thing that can help provide motivation as we do this. And it's to you, Katie.
So I think I'm going to define I think I'm going to define to prove between me and Tim. And I really like the idea of our relationship being rival eyewitnesses who are proving that it's a stupid hoax.
Yes.
Okay.
I really like that idea because it's sort of contradicting. Like, we've seen it, but we both believe it's fake. I like that idea.
That is
Yes.
awesome.
Yeah,
great.
so that's what I'm going to do.
All right.
So the choice for me is a 4 or a 4.
Yeah, so do you
It's
want
really
the
a 5 or a
4?
1.
Do you
it's
want
to
the
record
4
not-
or the 4?
Yeah. Okay.
You
But
choose.
it's, let's see, what's to contact whoever's behind the massive dope grow? No, or it's 5 on the way back on they're both needs, right? It's 4 or 5.
Yeah. It's to
No, it's to wreck or to contact. Okay.
to wreck or to contact. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to define this as to wreck. I don't really want to doom myself to wrecking myself, but who knows? That might be fun. Yeah.
It also doesn't necessarily have to be both of us, but it could be.
That's true.
Or both of you. But,
Yeah, both. Well, yeah, it could be just one of them.
Yeah.
Let's just do it over here. Gets all 4 black dice.
Okay, so to contact whoever is behind the massive dope grow.
Yeah.
All right.
I leave our need to wreck in your hands, Mark.
Excellent. And yeah, Mark, you can pick whatever you want because under to wreck because it's the last one.
I'm the last one. So let's see. So many awesome choices here, but To wreck somebody's reputation, possibly your own.
That's a good one.
All right. Somebody's reputation, possibly your own. Okay. Awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and put that down there, and we've got it. Okay. So that's our setup, and so now we need to kind of talk about our characters and figure out kind of what we're doing. I'm going to grab all the dice and pull them back over since we no longer need them all over there. We can just move them to the center and kind of get that going. And we're going to be kind of basically separating them out. This is where the color of the dice is going to be dependent on how we want scenes to end. And I should probably, I'll explain that when we get to that, but we need to first sort of figure out who our characters are and sort of work out these details. So let's see. I guess first, Katie and I are monster hunters. And apparently one of us is television's Rico Sanchez, and the other is a local fan. Who do you want to be, Katie?
I think I'm going to be a local fan who wants to, like, prove that this beast is fake. And, like, I want you to report that it's fake.
Okay, so the Manhunter in this case is a report. Yeah, no, that's good. No, it's television, so that works. Okay, yeah, that works. I will. So I know what my character's name is now. And
he was also a former member of a prison gang.
Yes, I get a feeling this is like somebody who got his own reality show. After someone like did a story on him.
That sounds about right.
Rico Sanchez. Okay. And so let me resize that. So that works. That works for me. That's pretty cool. So apparently, I need to come up with with whatever my reality show is called and figure it out from there. But what else? What do you folks think about as far as your characters go?
I think as far as the troublemakers between Tim and I, given that I'm also a former member of a prison gang based on our relationship, Jim, I think that makes me the escaped convict. Tim, are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine being an accessory. I can be an accessory all day. Let's see, but whose reputation are we trying to wreck, or are you trying to wreck, or which of us is...
the wreck. We're probably trying to wreck the reputation of...
What if you're trying to wreck the reputation of Rico?
I was going to say that. Yeah, it might actually work.
That's what I was just thinking.
That sounds good.
Yeah, so you might not. So you used to be friends with Rico because you were in the same prison gang.
Yeah, and it might actually be you that's doing more of the trying to.
Oh yeah, that's my motivation.
Reputation wrecking.
Maybe because you didn't get out, and I might be pals with you, and I'm like, okay, got to destroy Rico for some reason. I still don't know why I would want to do that, but I'm sure he's irritated.
We have to cut him out of the
score.
Dope grow, right?
Yes, that has to be it.
That sounds good. That sounds good. Maybe it's like the when we were in the prison gang together. We knew where we found out where this dope grow was happening, and then so we both know where it is, or where it's supposed to be, and now it's happening. And I've not gotten back around to it because now apparently I'm a celebrity.
Yeah.
Because you got out long before I did.
Yeah, and you just got out, maybe.
Yeah. He's new. He's probably crashing on my back porch or something. All right, because I broke him out. So he's on the run.
Awesome.
I think I'm going to steal the idea from Monster of the Week that my character, who I'm naming Ginger, doesn't believe in the beast, but she believes in ghosts. wholeheartedly and thinks that all this stuff is a ghost. It's not this fucking cryptid. It's a ghost.
Yes.
That's what it is. It's a ghost. So she wants to prove that it's not this beast. It's some like supernatural haunting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's very awesome. That needs to be a thing.
And I think my ambition to disprove the beast is so I can get less attention on the area, so I can like use the massive dope grow.
I like that.
Yeah. So I'm going to get people's maybe I don't even really think the beast is. Maybe I think the beast is real, but I want to scare people. But I want people to stop being interested in the area. So I want them to want more. I want to get rid of Rico and all the prying eyes who might find my dope that I've yet to grow, but need to find.
So it's so you folks probably being rival eyewitnesses somehow know each other. I am guessing. Because of it coming up at some point. How long do we think the beast has been around in Sucker Creek? Did it say in the? Let me see if it said.
It's been generations at least. Since
I think it said it's been around for like ever.
Yeah.
Because it went back to like the Native Americans being there.
Yeah.
The tribe.
The Niteshi, the strong one. So the strong one's been out there for quite a while. So that when so how long ago do you folks think that you saw the beast first? Or have you yet to become eyewitnesses? Is that something that's going to happen in play? Could go either way.
I think Ginger has seen it once, and she was like, she's heard, it's like she's lived in this town, so she's heard about the beast her whole life, and she's never believed it. And so she saw it, and she was like bound and determined, that's not real. That's a ghost. Yeah, this isn't real.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think maybe my character, I think I'll call him Billy.
Okay.
But Billy saw maybe Billy saw the beast. Just let me know if this is okay. But Billy saw the beast while he was sneaking Mark's character, or we're on his way to the prison to sneak Mark's character out or something.
Hey, no, that works.
A shortcut through Sucker Creek.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That works for me, man.
Okay.
Totally.
And while we're on names, my character, of course, is going to be Joe Malone, known on the inside as Bones.
Excellent. All right, I'm adding that to your little cards here. There we go. Excellent. And Katie, do you have an idea what you want to call your character?
Ginger.
Oh yeah, Ginger. You said. I'm sorry. I can't hear anything anymore. I am going deaf. Ginger, does she have a last name that you want to?
Nah, don't worry about it.
She has no last name.
She's no last name. No one knows it.
Does Billy have a knowable last name?
Yeah, Kix. Kix.
Billy Kicks.
Billy Kicks.
Oh my god.
Sweet.
Love it.
I will not make jokes about cereal. I will not make jokes about cereal. I will not make jokes about cereal. Okay.
Kicks are for kids.
Apparently. All right. I think we've almost got... have we defined about as much as we need to get going, do you folks think? We've got our relationships together, sort of figuring that out. There's... we don't have details about the town, but I think that'll happen as we go. I guess, yeah. Unless is there anything else anyone wants to define before we try to launch this thing?
Well, if we really want to get the depressing object in there, that could be a reason why Rico once involved in the big dope grow.
Oh yeah, I keep forgetting. Yeah, that's right. I need to make sure that we've pulled everything in. Yeah.
We don't have to pull everything in.
Well, it's true. It can happen, but yes.
it does help.
Well, let's see if the bills are a motivating factor. Do I have the bills and collections notices, or does Ginger have the bills and collections notices? Is that more for one of us or the other, or is there a scenario in which we both have them for some reason?
I think it could go either way, really.
Yeah, so we could go in the direction that Rico has them and is trying to get footage to sell it.
Get renewed.
That could go either.
Renewed.
That could work for either.
Oh, you know what? Okay, I think I've got it. Yeah, Rico has the bills, and the reason he is coming back to Sucker Creek is ostensibly to do a special about the Beast of Sucker Creek, but in fact he's there to access the dope grow.
Yes.
Yup.
He's finally coming back to really. That's the real reason he's there, and this. But now the reason that this is significant to Ginger is possibly she has somehow found out that he has debt, perhaps. Trying to figure out what kind of debt. I actually have to figure out. It's a little embarrassing of me to say, but I am not completely familiar with, in fact, what dope looks like.
Four leaves and everything.
Yes, because it is a drug taken illegally for recreational purposes, especially marijuana or heroin. So it can be anything. Is that what that means?
Pretty much.
Well, it's probably marijuana if this is in America.
Yeah.
I would get. Yeah, that sounds like that's probably, and that's the other reason why it would need to be massive.
Yeah, it takes a lot to get the job done. Sorry.
No, you know. Well, I mean, also now it being legal is in as many places as it is. That's probably also another reason to go get it.
Yeah. Hurry up and get that and export some of it.
Yeah. But I like the idea that it's wherever Sucker Creek is, that it's still not legal there.
It has to be like Kentucky or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's
I can verify that. Because I'm in Kentucky, not for other reasons. Okay.
This is true. No, it's I have seen Mark in person before, viewers, and it was in Kentucky at the time. So that much of his story is true. At the very least. So that works. Okay, yeah, no, that's great. Oh my god. All right, cool. I think we're good. I think that I'm doing a show called The Manhunter, and I just need to figure out what it is that I am why I'm so horribly in debt. It could be any number of things.
What if you have a lot of like ex-wives?
I probably have. I can certainly play that.
There's that. It could also be a self-produced syndicated show.
Oh my gosh!
You're
Yeah.
a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's like I'm an internet celebrity person thing, and
you lie. You do everything on Twitch live.
Yeah.
We're getting real here. We're getting really.
There's too many layers. It's just too. This is getting too recursive. I don't understand it.
It's too meta.
It's too meta. All right. So that's. I think that's enough for us to get started. So let me explain briefly how this works to those who may not be familiar. In Fiasco, the way that this goes is we have 2 acts. So we're going to do the first act. Each character gets 2 scenes per act. We go around the same way that we did when we were picking out the different elements. We have, we each get, when it's your turn, that's your character's focus scene. That's your scene. When it comes to your turn, you can choose to either establish the scene or resolve the scene. And so what that means is when you're establishing the scene, you get to decide how the scene is starting, who's in the scene, and where it is, and what your character is doing. The only thing required is that it's about your character. I also like to suggest that you have some idea of what it is your character wants in that scene, so that it becomes easier to tell as we go through it whether it's going to go well or poorly for your character. If you're establishing, that means that the rest of us, the rest of the players, are resolving the scene. What that means, all that really means is that they decide as you're playing the scene out if it's going to go well or poorly for your character. If it's going to go well, then they pick up a white die, and ultimately you're going to move it into the box for that player. That's why I've got those 4 boxes there on the screen. If you think it's going to go poorly, then you choose a black die and move it into that character's area. Then once that's determined, whether it's going to go well or poorly, then you play out the rest of the scene that way, just aiming toward a good or bad outcome for that character. And that's pretty much how it goes. You can also, as you're setting up the scene, you can recruit any of us who don't have characters in the scene to play NPCs as needed. And we can still throw things in, just sort of, it's a group narrative thing, so that's really how it works. If you choose, when it comes to your turn, to resolve, then it's just the other way around. Everyone else sets the scene for you. They decide what's happening to your character, but as it goes on, you get to choose whether it's going to go well or poorly for yourself, and decide what kind of die you get. At the end of your scene in Act 1, you then give that die to one of the other players, so you get to decide who that die goes to, ultimately, after the scene is done. Is that all fairly clear? Do I need to? Do you need me to explain anything else, or with respect to that?
No, that seems pretty clear.
Okay, excellent. Since I'm going first, I'll go ahead and demonstrate by establishing. So I guess what we'll do is let's go ahead and have a scene establishing my relationship with Ginger. I guess we'll go ahead and get that started. Also, when you're setting these things up, you can go forwards or backwards in time if you want. You can do any number of things. But to start this off, I think what will happen is that I'll be getting into town. I think it's pretty much it's me and usually a cameraman. But for whatever reason, my cameraman isn't here. So right now I'm just having to do the selfie stick and that kind of thing. That's pretty much all that's happening. So I think the first place, let's see, what would be the first place? And I would love right now to have my deck of random modern locations in front of me. Sadly, I do not. But let's see. Probably the cameraman may have just quit on me. I don't know, but they haven't shown up yet. So I probably pulled up in my pickup to some. I'm trying to think where is the first place a monster hunter goes in a town? Do they go to the
if you go
library?
to
there is a location
like the national park lodge, like where the park ranger.
Oh yeah,
that works. That works
kind
for
of
me.
Place.
That works out. That works out for me. And also I've just been reminded there are locations in the playset if we want to use any of those that we didn't use for the setup. It's totally okay to use any of those we want. Thank you for the reminder. So we can go with that if we also need to come up with places if need be, or if you have ideas for places, feel free to go with those. So I'll say I'm coming into the lodge to try to talk to the head ranger, the park ranger. I don't know how park ranger ranks work, but it's just whoever the head park ranger is, and so they're probably going to be there somewhere. But before I get all the way in, maybe I'm going to be in the front office. Ginger will be there waiting for me. I think that's how we want to start up. Owing to another suggestion in chat, I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to try as hard as I can to be Danny Trejo, but no one truly can be. So we'll see how this goes.
There's only one.
There is only one, so I am not going to do him justice, but we'll see how this goes. Who would like to be the park ranger? Mark, Tim, either one of you want to be the...
I can do it.
Okay, so you can come in at any time, but the first person I'm going to encounter in the scene is going to be Ginger. So I've pulled up in front of the, we're sort of at the edge of the sort of the swampy creek-like forest-like area. I know nothing about nature. I'm getting out of the truck, And I've been narrating to this to my phone basically, where I've been recording stuff, I'm getting out, and with sort of I've got the equipment covered up in the back of the truck, and I said, so I was supposed to meet Tom here, but Tom hasn't shown up yet, so we're gonna just do this one-man Manhunter style. We're going to go right in, and we're going to talk to the park ranger. We're going to see what's going on. And so I'm coming around, and I head up toward I'm heading up the front steps, and who do I see? Who do I see coming out of the lodge?
Yeah. So Ginger is like this early 20s, like just like girl next door, typical college looking student, and she has this like huge camera around her neck, and she just comes out with her like and grabs your hand. Oh, hello, Mr. Sanchez. I'm so glad to see you. I'm the biggest fan ever.
Hello. Yeah. Have I seen you somewhere before? You look familiar. Have you written in before or something? Or
Yes. I write in religiously once a month, and I'm just so honored that you're here in Sucker Creek. It's just the biggest deal ever. And she's just like shaking your hand furiously, still like double clasps on your hand.
You're that Ginger. Okay.
Know about me?
I remember
your letters.
I have seen your letters. Yes, I have.
Oh, my mom isn't gonna believe it. She thinks that you don't read them, and I tell her you do.
I do. I look at all of them. I do. Is the ranger in right now, or?
Oh, he went to the bathroom about 15 minutes ago. He's gonna be in there for a while, but you should come on in.
Okay, yeah, let's go on and I'm sort of fumbling with the camera, just sort of, okay, yeah, I'll go in and sort of wander into the lodge where there are, it looks very rustic, I would assume, and various animal heads on the wall and things of that nature, and a desk currently unoccupied, and I just sort of walk in. So how long what are you doing out here?
Oh, I'm also after proof, or well, not really proof per se, of the creature, the beast. So I don't really think it's real. I think it's a ghost. I'm a very big believer in spirits beyond.
Really? Okay. That's well, no, it's good. You know, I don't know that. I mean, mostly all these cryptids I go looking for. I haven't really seen a ghost yet, but
I've seen so many. I don't have any pictures.
You have you?
Now. Yeah.
So
and then,
yeah,
about then the toilet flushes.
Okay. Sort of looks over. Okay. I think that must be him. You take a lot of pictures, do you?
I do, yeah. That's what I'm majoring in college. They're not too happy that they're mostly of blurry images, but they don't understand that those are very important images of spirits.
Okay, and you got any samples on you right now?
Yeah, she takes her camera off and is just shoving it towards you, already going through image, and they're clearly just blurry images. Like there's probably a thumb over the the lens sometimes.
Does the ranger come out while I'm looking at this, or?
Yes. You hear the sync go on and off, but very briefly, and then Ranger Dave appears with his name tag and everything.
Ranger Dave? Is that what you said?
That's what I said.
Awesome. Okay. Hi,
what do we have here?
We're out. I'm with the Manhunter show. I don't know if you've heard of it, but I was just coming out to look around the park, as I wanted to bring some equipment. My camera guy hadn't been able to make it, so
it certainly doesn't seem to be here. That's for sure.
Yeah, but
I'm just showing you my pictures, Dave. I think he likes them.
They're certainly unique, I say, just sort of half smiling and handing the camera back to you. So no, I just need to go through the permit stuff and get out so I can shoot stuff out there. Is that going to be all right?
Yeah, it should be all right. Just come right over here and I'll get you the paperwork. But I do have one question for you.
Yeah.
If the show's called Manhunters, why are you looking for the beast? It's not a man.
It's an interesting question. It's funny, but back. So I did some bounty hunting after some difficulties I had a few years back, and the reality folks who were coming with me, I sort of picked up that name there, and the folks that I associate on the web network I'm on decided that'd be a good name for the show too. So it's sort of recognition, you know. That's kind of how that goes.
I mean, isn't the beast like sort of shaped like a man? It works out, sort of.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. Never seen it myself.
Yeah. Well, if it's out there, hopefully get some good shots of it. Take a look. We'll see what we can find. You know. I think I'd like to know it. I think probably around this, more or less this point, folks should probably start thinking about if this is going to go well or poorly for me.
Mm-hmm.
What is your goal to get shots
true.
of the beast?
I should have defined this. Here I am. Do as I say and not as I do. My goal here is to get the process done as quickly as possible and not be plagued with too much fan creep. I think that's probably what my character's goal at the moment is. So I guess, do we think this is going to go well or poorly for me?
I think it's going to go poorly. I think you're going to be stuck there longer than you want.
Oh,
Okay. So I think
bathroom.
What did you say? Did Ranger Dave has to go
It's just how generally slow Ranger Dave seems to be.
Oh, yeah. So I'm just sort of sitting there, and I'm sitting there, and eventually, for reasons that I don't fully fathom, because it seems like, as I'm sort of distracted part of the way through, and I'm talking, this is going to take a while. And I'm just sort of looking, and and the cameraman doesn't show up, and I'm like, all right, I'm probably going to regret this. This Ginger, you any good with a video camera?
I mean, it's not what I'm studying, but I can. You just hold it steady, right? That can't be that hard.
It's that's the biggest part of it, holding it steady. That's the most important part.
Yeah, I can get it. Do you have the camera, or do I need to get the equipment from school?
I got it. I'll talk you through it. Should be fine. Should be just fine. And I think that's probably where we're going to cut the scene.
Okay.
I think, because that has just gone terrible for me. And so that gives me a black die, which I will then give. I will give that die to. I'll give the die to Tim, because he is for gracing us with Ranger Dave. It was very good of him to do so. All right, Katie, it's now your turn. Do you want to establish or resolve?
I would like to try to resolve.
Okay, so this is going to be Ginger's scene. We've gotten a little idea of her character so far.
How crazy she is.
Yeah, exactly. And so, what situation do we want to put Ginger in? What do we want to do for Ginger's character? Any ideas? Maybe something about her relationship with Billy. That might be a thing to pull up.
Yeah, it may make sense. I mean,
yeah,
because we are rivals.
Yeah,
only one of us can find the beast.
Yeah, so something about maybe they're running into each other, and just sort of they're at somewhere in town or something, and it's it's something to just sort of establish what their situation is.
Maybe she has to go get a video camera because the cameraman was going to bring her own camera.
Okay.
Bring his own camera.
Yeah.
That's just an idea.
Yeah, that's fine. So maybe it's something where it's like there's some piece of equipment that I didn't bring. I've got like
or a bipod or something.
Yeah.
Like an extra battery pack or something.
Yeah, battery packs is perfect.
Like
that's
that.
perfect.
Yeah.
Where she has to go to run to the store to get a battery pack. Some probably a convenience store of some kind, or
like a general store kind of thing.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
I don't. Let me see. I don't see a general store in there, so we'll make one. So she's headed to the general store. And does she meet you in the general store? Is that?
Yeah, I'm there. What am I up to? That's hard to say. I'm just loitering. How about that?
Yeah. Okay.
Just picking things up, looking at them, putting them back.
Exactly. Taking a look at all the. Yeah, Billy's just looking at all the different health facts. Yeah, that's it. He's looking at the health facts and the food, trying to decide to get something, but he can't find anything he wants that he thinks is safe.
Awesome.
I love it.
Awesome. So that's where you're going. And so what does Ginger want to accomplish in this scene, do you think?
So can I say, because I've never played this before, so I want to make sure I can say this. Can I, even though I can meta this and say, I want to accomplish that, she's going to prove to Billy that she's going to find the evidence. Can I say that?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's in this scene, yeah, sure. I mean, if you want to convince him of that in this scene, if that's kind of an idea. And like I said, we don't need to hold to these too much, but it's
I can say that even though Ginger doesn't know Billy's going to be there.
Right, exactly. Yeah, totally.
Sure.
No, that's totally fine.
So that's what I want to prove. I want to prove that, she's going to, have Billy shaken in his socks and sandals before she leaves.
Awesome. Okay.
I just imagine Billy wears socks and sandals, pulled up socks all the way up.
Yeah, they're patterned socks though.
Oh yes, that's
they're not
great.
white. You can't wear white socks.
Is there anything we want to add from the outset of this, or do we think we're good? I think we're good to start that scene. All right. Yeah. Okay, take it away.
I think Ginger walks into the general store and she's you see her wave at the guy behind the counter, and she goes down this one aisle and it just stops when she sees Billy, and you hear the Kill Bill sirens. She just narrows her eyes and you just hear it. Exactly, yeah. And she's like, "What are you doing here, Billy?"
I'm checking out the food. Do you know how much MSG is in pickles?
MSG doesn't do anything. It's just a flavoring.
Why'd they put in the pickles though?
It makes them taste better.
Well, either way, I don't really want pickles. I'm not here for pickles.
Well, then why are you staring at them?
Put the pickle jar back on the shelf. I'm not staring at them anymore. Where are you going in such a hurry?
I've been put on an important job. And she walks past you, her nose held up, she's, so proud of herself,
Well, that doesn't sound like you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I don't know. Other than you making stuff up about the creature, I haven't heard you doing a whole lot.
It's a ghost, Billy. I don't make stuff up. It's the truth. And someone's here who's going to prove it.
Is that so?
Yeah. You know Rico Sanchez?
The name rings a bell.
Well, he has hired me to be his camera person. And we're going to prove that the beast isn't some weird cryptid, that it's a ghost.
Is that so?
Yes,
That
Billy,
would-
all of this is so.
Sorry. Well, I can see that. Almost as much as the MSG and the pickles. You
Oh
can
my
practically
God, it's
tell.
for flavoring.
You sure it's not food coloring? How do they get so green?
They're cucumbers, Billy.
So the jar says pickles.
People are making like a wide berth around this aisle at this point.
Two people walking by and just staring down. But like
I've
they're
never
not
seen
surprised because this happens all the time.
Yeah. Fair enough.
We're gonna prove that it's not a beast. In fact, it's a ghost. And I'm gonna be famous, and so is Rico Sanchez. Well, more famous. He's already famous, you know.
Yeah, I heard of him. Heard of him on the old internet.
Well, you know, if you'd stay off those conspiracy boards. Probably no more.
You know, I don't know, but I wouldn't drink the water. That's what I'm saying. It's all Diet Coke for me.
It's
Gotta
like you
keep my-
come up
gotta
with a
keep
new
my
one
hormones
every
in
day.
balance. Huh?
You come up with a new conspiracy every day. What's next?
Maybe I'll stick around and find out. I think this store's got to be a happening place, but I mean, there's more people. It seems like they're clogging up this aisle. Is this town? Do you think there are more people in this town? I bet they're being relocated from somewhere.
Oh, God.
She like just rolls her eyes and steps forward and like puts her finger in your face. Listen, I don't care what you do with your dumb little conspiracies, but if you get in the way of this investigation, you'll hear from my alien friends.
Aliens? Which dimension are they from?
I don't know, the worst one.
The worst dimension? I haven't even heard of that.
Well, it's out there and it's bad.
Is that one of those dimensions you go to when you smoke the DMT?
I don't even know what that is, Billy.
Well, pray you never have to find out.
Yeah, I think she just like turns around and she doesn't even get a battery because she stomps out of the store.
How do you think this is gone for you,
Yeah, I don't
Katie?
think it went good. I don't think she scared Billy.
Okay, so you want to? Yeah, we can still change things if you want to resolve it good, but you want to resolve it poorly.
I genuinely in the fiction it was resolved poorly. She didn't do anything
All
worth
right.
doing.
That's perfectly fine. Who do you want to give that die to?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay.
Yeah, now you're missing a battery pack. Come on.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
you don't have the battery pack.
That is fair. That is very fair. That is awesome. Okay, Tim, it is your turn. Do you want to establish or resolve?
Well, I think I'm gonna establish. Sorry, I'm terrible with accents and I get stuck. But I'm gonna establish a scene with where I'm going to see Joe. Billy's gonna go see Joe and tell him that Rico's in town. And I think he wants to prove that we need to get rid of Rico somehow, drive him out of town or some such.
Excellent, excellent. Where are you folks meeting?
I think it's gonna be back at Billy's house on the back porch with where we grow the special stuff behind.
Oh, okay.
The house.
Okay, so yeah, Billy's growing the stuff here. Okay, that makes
just not as much of it as he wants.
Yeah. Okay, so you folks are. So actually, let me just ask real quick. So Billy lives in the area. This is not the. The massive dope.
No,
grow?
this is not the massive one.
Okay.
He wants the massive one, but he doesn't have it yet.
Okay, cool.
I mean, that Billy want. But I mean, I think we're a team for that, though, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're a team.
All right. Do you want anything? Do you want anyone else in the scene or anything else in the scene, or are you good?
Let's see. I think I'm okay.
All righty.
That makes sense. Yeah. So Billy is going to, and Billy just walks. He gets home. I think it's like a shotgun house, so it's one big straight. Mostly one little straight house, one level maybe. But then there's a big porch added on the back that's half the size of the house or something, maybe.
Okay.
No, maybe not that big, but whatever. Exaggeratedly large porch. Walks through the house, comes out on the back porch, and then I don't know what state Joe's in when I get there. But he's probably still lying low, so I don't know. Yeah. But hey, Joe, got news.
Aye, what's that?
The news is Rico. Geez, I can't remember his name. They all sound the same. But Rico's back in town. You remember Rico, right, from prison?
Rico. Oh, Rico.
You guys ran together in prison, right?
You mean that Manhunter guy, right?
That's the one.
Yeah. We never called him that when we were inside, though.
What'd you call him?
Suave.
Suave. Okay.
Like that song.
Yeah.
Like that awful, awful song.
Taco. Anyway, yeah. That's all that came to mind for me. Yeah, so I think we gotta do what we can. I don't think he's here looking for any monster. I have a suspicion that you guys hung out. You know what's going. Did he know anything about the Sucker Creek back then? Is he from around here?
I don't think he's from around here, but he, of course, if it's a bunch of former ecumenicals, just like me, then just like me and him, then or no, not the ecumenicals, the cosmopolitans. There we go. If it's more of the cosmopolitans,
I was gonna say,
and him, he probably knows about it.
All right, so then maybe my suspicions are on track then, because I think he isn't looking for the beast at all. Maybe he's here to score the big one. You know what I'm talking about, the dope.
He's technically entitled to a share in it, being a cosmopolitan and all that.
That's so.
Unless you got some other information on him there. I mean, the fact is, with the little crew that we got raising it right now, I mean, when we only, it's already kind of divided into enough little pieces right now, isn't it?
Well, I think so, but I think it could be divided into fewer pieces. Something, as long as we were all still involved. And I don't think we can afford to split it again, if you know what I mean.
Well, we'll just have to. If he comes looking for it, we'll have to handle that.
I'll keep an eye out for him, that's for sure. You want to help? I guess I don't know how well you can do that, seeing as how people might be looking for you still.
Well, there is that. And,
I do have this hat and mustache upstairs. You can try those on and sneak out.
This is not the one with the weird Groucho nose, is it?
Well, we can get rid of the nose. We can take the nose off if you want. It pops off. It's like a potato head.
That would work better. But of course, he is also. We have to figure out this for sure, because he is my fellow cosmopolitan brother. So we've got to.
All right. Well, if that's how it's got to be, remember, just drink the bottled water. Don't get the stuff. Don't drink the other water. Don't want to mess with your hormones or nothing.
What's in the other water?
All right. What's in the land water? The government's putting stuff in it. Everyone knows that. Messes with your hormones. Turns you gay.
Oh, good Lord.
What, you mean the whole...
frogs. I saw it on YouTube.
You mean that whole deal with your precious bodily fluids and all that?
That's a misrepresentation of my point.
I think this is I think this is actually going well for your character overall. Probably.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where we're gonna head back to.
I just love that Billy is just Alex Jones Jr. Alex Jones sounds light.
Such prejudice, such prejudice. Sorry, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. If there's anything you want to get
No, I think I'm okay. I think we can wrap it up. Just trail off.
Yeah.
Don't drink the water and don't breathe the air. Everything will be safe then.
Oh God, the frogs.
Oh. Who would you like to give that die to, Tim?
Okay, I actually think I'm gonna give it to Mark.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mark, it is your turn.
It's my turn. Okay. So I guess Rico is going to, not Rico, Joe is going to don the disguise minus the Groucho nose. And he's going to be heading in the general direction of the massive grow to try to contact the people looking over that and to see about, kind of warning them about Rico being in town and there may be issues because the big grow is probably well deep into the park facility.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm obviously as establishing at this point. So since I didn't say so before.
Oh yes, right. That was the question. I assume you're establishing at this point, given that.
Yes. given that I've already started.
That you've started establishing, so I guess you're establishing. All right, so you're heading toward the grow.
Yeah, and it's a matter of does he succeed in reaching them, or does something divert him from the path?
Okay, so you're heading toward the park. So I'm gonna assume you're gonna run into some kind of thing, and the question is whether you get past the thing or not. So does he run into do you run into like Ranger Dave or something similar?
Or maybe the Beast. So and you're sneaking around at night because you're a convict. So the Beast might be out there. I'm just a thought there. And it's obviously
could totally be. What do you think?
Or he runs into Rico.
You could, I could run into Rico.
Rico and Ginger.
Yeah.
That would be interesting, actually, then, because we can sort of establish their relationship.
Yeah.
Just I kind of like that idea. So where are do you want to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Where are we? Where are we, and what are we doing? Are we out shooting somewhere, or what are we doing?
Okay, you all are out shooting somewhere, and I'm probably trying to get into get over one of the areas of fencing where around the park proper, and that draws your attentions.
Okay, excellent. We're out probably in one of the sort of flatter areas, less swampy areas. So I guess it's probably more trees right now. Sort of near not too far from the fence. Maybe there's like a sign or something that I'm standing by to do some narration. So it's like here it says, so nobody's disappeared here, but there have always been questions. Folks are hearing things a lot and seeing things a lot. I'm gonna just sort of turn. What's that? What's that rattling? Do you hear rattling?
I didn't hear anything.
That's funny. So folks are out here. They're seeing things or hearing things that they can't fully explain. They hear all the. I could have sworn I saw. I could have sworn. Wait, and they're just sort of looking around. Is there somebody climbing up that fence?
She whips around with the camera and zooms in. They have a really bad mustache.
I can't see from here. Who is that?
Hey, who are you? She just yells out, doesn't care.
drops off of the. I drop off of the fence and go for some brush.
Do we think this is going to end well or poorly for him?
Poorly.
I think there's still some way this can go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it hasn't been enough time
It
yet.
could go either way.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Do we want to? Okay. Do we want to? Well, if we keep playing
I
it out,
think
the question is
Ginger-
whether we find him in the brush or not. I think that's.
Yeah, I
the,
think Ginger takes off.
Okay.
She's too curious for her own good. Yeah.
So Ginger is running after him, and so we need to figure out if she catches him or not.
She's like, it could be a ghost. Just like running.
So I mean, this could be. Do you want to interact a little bit before we decide, or do you want to just sort of decide now whether it's how it's going to go?
Do you think she'd catch up with him? Or would he be like really adept at hiding in the brush?
Well, given the whole beast thing, he'd be trying to hide in the brush at the same time making beast noises.
Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna have to figure out whether she buys this or not. And so that's one of the reasons I was sort of thinking maybe we should decide how it's going to go for you.
We can roll a 1d2 and odd she buys it and 2 she doesn't.
Well, I mean, so there's no need to necessarily throw additional mechanics on top of this per se if we don't want to. I mean, sort of. Do you think she would? How do you think she would react to this?
I think realistically she'd stand there and wait for Rico because like that's footage. That's proof or not proof, you know?
Okay, all right.
But you could hear her going, Rico, just like whispering the whole time.
All right. So she's standing out there, and she's as a reaction to your growling, and Rico is coming. Are you going to stay there in the bushes, or are you going to move around, or?
She hasn't moved any closer.
Right.
I will say that she hasn't like pushed forward.
Yeah. So is Joe gonna keep rattling the bushes and making monster noises, or what was he gonna do?
Well, I figured that the intent that he had at this point was to kind of get them to like stay backed off, so he would still be doing the noises and the brushing, hoping that he would get into into their heads. We need to be somewhere else, so that he can proceed uninhibited. But that's, well, you all decide whether or not that's something that's going to happen.
Yeah. So let's see. I think that this is going to be one of those things where I'd be interested to see kind of if it's. I mean, it could be. This could be amusing either way, but I don't really necessarily see Rico backing off if he thinks there's something in there. So I think this is probably going to go poorly for you.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we'll say that that's going on, so we're sort of heading. So we head sort of down there, and I'm like, oh, what's going on? You see him? You see him?
He's right there. Do you see the bushes moving? They're right there. It's right there. Maybe you should tackle him.
Yeah. Come out of there.
And she's got the camera just like on it.
And he just sort of slowly he leaps forward, machete in hand, as he is just running toward you. Dives into the bushes, and there's a bit of struggling for a moment, and they sort of roll out, and he's like, and you see it's a person. They're sort of struggling. He pulls back. He's like, "Don't I know you from somewhere?"
Damn it, Suave, get the hell off of me.
Who is Suave?
Throws the machete down, just sort of covers his name. As he sort of stands up, he's like, "Joe? Bones, is that you?"
Who the hell do you think it is?
And I just sort of back up. I sort of help you up. What the heck you're doing here?
The beast is a man.
It's not a man. You can stop shooting. It's not.
I beg your pardon.
It's just a guy. You can. I kind of almost just want to cut the scene there as like this sort of
Otherwise, this is going to keep going and going and
we
going.
just sort of So where do you want to put that die?
So good though.
Katie had to be a witness to all of that. So
Yes, excellent. Okay, so this is.
That was the perfect reaction.
That's awesome. I know. I was kind of gonna play that he doesn't recognize him, but that he didn't at first. But that was funny. So it's back to me. So I think what I will do. I think actually I'll resolve at this point because we can go a number of different directions from here. I think they're obviously going to talk at some point, but that can take many forms. So what do you guys think? What situation do you want to put Rico in?
What if it's a situation where
Like a near sighting thing. That's what I was thinking about. Like, what if there's something else out there? Get close, see something else in the forest, or what?
I was thinking it could be that when, like, Joe is showing, or like Joe and Rico, and maybe even Billy are going to see like the big dope place, and that's where y'all see the beat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Maybe like cool. So is that where are we at there, or are we on our way? Or sorry, go ahead.
Or if this is a thing that Rico's trying to get into, this would be his chance to convince me that I should let him in.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm going anyway, and it's a matter of, do I continue with some badly, quickly made up lies, or am I not listening so much to Billy and letting you in on that? And of course, you've got to get that past Ginger too, without necessarily tipping her off.
Yeah. So I think this could be. Oh, sorry, that's not my job. Sorry, go ahead. I'm not supposed to contribute to that.
Yeah.
What do you? Where do you think this is happening?
So if it's
maybe they got back to the road or something. You know, or
like
I don't know.
A few minutes later, and
I think it's
Joe's got himself brushed off and all that from being tackled in the bushes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's like Rico has convinced Ginger to leave because this is probably not a conversation Ginger needs to be in.
Yeah, I think I've told you to go get B-reel stuff.
Yeah.
And you're off shooting in the distance.
Yeah, and you were having this conversation about this like deal to get in on.
This deal to get in on. So I got to figure out. So what do I want from Bones here? Do I need? Is it that I don't know where it is, or is it that or I just think he's up to something, and I want to kind of just sort of get this so that we're working together. Maybe. Does that sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. All right. So we're so we've so she's off in the distance. I guess we're still in the park. Is that fair to assume? Or are we
Yeah.
Sort of at the so is it just so it's just Joe and Rico?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
At least for the moment.
Yes. All right. So we're there. So we're sort of okay. She's off shooting trees. I think we can talk now. Ah, man. So it's good to see you, but I didn't expect you to be here now, you know?
Well, I still technically have about 5 years left on my sentence.
That's why I didn't expect to see you here now. That's are you okay?
Oh, I am now that I've brushed myself off, and I don't have you pounding me into the ground with a machete.
Well, you were making beast noises. We thought you were. We thought maybe you were someone else. So I guess you decided to come in and cash in on our retirement a little early, yeah?
A little bit, yeah. I have to get myself out of the country somehow.
I guess so. You could have said so. You could have sent me you could have sent me an email or something.
I don't know. I figured you're so busy with your new show and all that.
Busy is one word for it. But
Tell me about it.
it's crazy. It's crazy, and it's barely keeping afloat right now with what the X's are doing. So I kind of want to listen. We both, are we okay? Can we do this and divide it up? Because Cosmos for life, right?
Cosmos for life.
Okay. Okay, good. So how do you see this? You had you were the contact guy better than me, yeah? What's his name? Kick something?
I.
Yeah. So a kickstand or something. Anyway, so we can we haven't we haven't met face to face, so it's probably best we go in and see kind of how much is there, what we can get out of it. Yeah, we're good.
As a matter of fact, I was just on my way out there.
All right.
I had to check on a few things myself.
Well, let me see if I can. It's probably not going to take too long. And just let me send my trainee back there and see if we can get this done. Yeah.
Sounds like a plan to me.
All right. I think this is going well for me. So I'm going to go ahead and take the white die, and I will give. Let's see. For maximum, if I were being nice, I would give this die to Mark, because ultimately at the end, the more that of the same color die you have, the better you do. But because this is Fiasco and I play to lose, I'm going to give this die to Tim. For no particular reason aside from that he already has a black die, and it's a good balancing thing. In general, this game, people have very mighty ambitions, and as I see it, the goal is to fail at those ambitions as spectacularly as possible. So we move on to Katie. Do you want to establish or resolve?
I'm going to establish.
Okay.
And I think it is the next night, and Ginger has taken it upon herself to go get some more establishing shots of the woods without like telling Rico. And I think that as she's doing so, she runs across Billy and Joe going out to like the dope place. But not only that, as she's like running across them, I think they also run across the beast.
Ah, yes.
Okay, so is this just for time purposes, or rather just so that I know when in the timeline this is? Is this so this obviously isn't with me going with Joe. I guess maybe Joe had to go. If this is after what had happened, but it's still while you're taking B-roll, then maybe it's like Joe had to go and talk to Billy to.
She'd said it was the next day.
Oh, it's the next day.
The
Okay.
Next day.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
No, that works. So you folks are getting. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I think that works. What sort of terrain is about? Is it trees and
Trees and swamp.
Trees and swamp.
Swamp
Okay.
when you get too low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like I think that like it's like just it's right between like the trees and the swamp, because you wouldn't want the growth to be like in the swamp because it would drown it. So it's like close to the swamp, but still up high. But like the swamp is where the beast has been like seen and stuff and spotted. So it's still like that area.
Awesome. Okay. So.
And I think like so Ginger walks up and sees you two, and she's like, especially seeing Billy, and she's like, "What the hell are you doing out?" And she just stops, and she's like, "Oh my God," and just raises the camera up. It's behind you.
And they don't
What?
hear her.
And I'm just talking to. And are we just walking through the forest then?
I think you guys were like going to the dope place. Like,
okay, yeah, we're just
look over it
through
or
the
something,
forest.
maybe you were either leaving it or going toward it, whichever you prefer. Yeah, and it's like late at night.
Okay, so do we spot the camera? That's kind of, do we spot Ginger? That's really the question.
Yeah, because she says something. She sees
Oh,
you.
yeah.
And it's
Okay.
like, yeah, what are you doing? And then she stops short, and there's a light on the camera.
Ain't this a fine howdy do?
Billy, don't talk. The thing is right behind you.
Behind me. And it looks slowly over the shoulder, cautiously. Joe, do you hear anything?
What are you talking about?
Now
The beast?
it's rising out of the swamp. You two might want to just come a little.
I don't believe that for a second.
I mean, it's clearly not a. I'm getting this on footage.
You don't even believe in the beast. Come on.
I mean, I don't. I think it goes. But if it kills the both of you, then that's great footage.
Well, the last thing I'm going to give you is good footage, and and Billy walks forward and
Oh my god.
approaches Ginger. Maybe you should, not be filming in the middle of the night in the forest by the swamp with the ghosts, as you call them.
Are you just gonna leave your friend there to die?
Joe, come over here.
Oh, if I have to, I start walking over.
Don't be lazy, Joe.
Do we think this is going to go well, or for
Everyone knows there's no such thing as a beast. There's certainly not one right over here turning around and looking.
Yeah, and I think you see this creature driving from the swamp, but it's so dark that you can't tell really what it is. But it is man-shaped.
Billy looks over his shoulder. Rico, is that you? Is that Rico? He's creeping around out here with you, isn't he?
Well, I'm running.
I think.
Looking at it.
Yeah. Is this going to be spin well for her or spin poorly? Do we think?
Let's see. I think poorly, but maybe not. I mean, she's actually, this could be good.
I mean, I think it could be good if she's proving her point.
Yeah, maybe.
So, I mean, do we?
Well, it's proving that there's something there, whether beast or ghost.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it's.
Yeah. So it could be. So do we want to call this? Well, I guess some of it is like you're listening to her, so there's that. But then also there's the thing you're running. So running from? What do we think? Good or bad?
I think this is good.
I think it's going to be good.
It's good, actually.
I think it'll spin good for her. Okay.
There's a thing there that we are getting away from. At least I hope that's what our result means.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's probably also the other good thing. Go ahead.
I think that she goes to run, and maybe if it had spun badly, she would have dropped the camera. But I think she manages to run away with the camera successfully.
I think what would be funny is after the three of you run off, we just briefly see that we see Rico come out of the bushes, and he's like, what was it? You folks, who's out there?
Yes.
Yeah. Never mind. He goes back with his flashlight, looking around.
Yes.
I love it. Yeah.
All right, and so now it's who do you want to give the white die to?
I'm gonna give it to Mark.
Okay, and now it's to Tim. So do you want to establish
Chaos. I think I'm going to let's see. I think I'm going to resolve.
Okay. So what situation do we want to put Billy in?
I sort of want Billy to come face to face by himself with the beast.
We are getting close to the act break, so a beast reveal would be appropriate, I think.
Yeah, I think that would be so to see Billy's conspiracy theory self not believing with face to face with the beast by himself, having to compartmentalize that.
What kind of thing do we think that he's going to come up against? But Mark, what do you think? Do you think he's going to come up against looking like a Bigfoot-looking thing, or is it going to be more ethereal, or
something more along the Bigfoot lines? Because the actual legend is of a beast, something like that. Something Swamp Thing-ish, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That'd be cool.
That's
Maybe.
what I was thinking. A Bigfoot with a ton of like moss.
Yeah,
like
yeah. Sort of a
Bigfoot mix.
Bigfoot-shaped sort of swamp creature-looking thing. That'd be awesome. Okay. This is probably going to be a very quick scene. I would assume. So that's what's happening. What is Billy out there doing? And what time of day is it? That's a good question.
This could be immediately after the other scene, but I'm not sure if I'm supposed to suggest that kind of thing. I don't know.
We're establishing, but we can take suggestions. That's no big deal.
Yeah, either that or what if Billy goes back like early next morning? You know, like when the fog is rising over the water and it's that creepy.
Yeah, like
atmosphere.
It's just before dawn, and fog's coming up, and there's a little light coming in, so you can sort of see in that sort of that dawn. Just pre-dawn light. You're heading through this sort of slightly swampy area, and then you hear this sort of splashing behind you, and you turn, and there's this thing standing there that you can see the outline of.
And he's like, it's like 7 feet
eyes.
tall, like towering over you. You have to look up at it.
Wow. That is one fine howdy do, and I back away slowly. I think there really was something in the water. Look, your hormones look all messed up, bro. And I'm gonna reach for my cell phone slowly so I can start filming.
And
no, I don't want to film it because I want to prove it's not real. So I'm gonna. Let's just make sure you get out of here nice and stuff. It kind of looks up and looks around like, maybe one of us said better leave the other one alone or something. I think we can coexist. I think we have an understanding. Or maybe not.
You get to pick. How's this going to go for you?
Okay, so I think he chases me, but if that's okay, if I say chases me, but I get away.
Yeah, is that good for you then?
Yeah, I don't know if that's good for me. No, but I get away and I can figure out, and I have an idea of where it lives, so I can try to get people to avoid that area.
Yeah, no, that'd
be a plus. So the people would never find it.
Okay. So so basically he starts coming after you, and you just sort of run off, but you sort of see where his area is, and you sort of
I get
pull back, and
a
you kind of see
him of how he lives in the swamp, and he's definitely not a ghost either. He saw it. He's dripping water, and he's got mud everywhere. Yeah.
Okay, so that's a white die. Who do you want to assign that to?
Okay, I'm gonna give that one to Katie.
Okay. All right, and Mark, it's your turn. This is the last scene of this act.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's see. Sometime after the encounter with the creature, that was part of Katie's scene. The three of us end up regrouping with Ranger Dave at the ranger station at the entrance of the park. I'm establishing, by the way.
Oh, okay. So
I'm so bad at that because the gutter Skype's always just.
No worries. Yeah.
Ginger, Ginger, Joe, and we had.
I forget if it was me or if it was Billy or Rico. Or were we all there?
I think it was Billy because Rico came out from the
right.
Later.
I'll play Ranger Dave if you want. That's no problem.
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
And where are you? Yeah, sorry. At the ranger station, you said, or?
Right.
Okay. And what's happening in this scene? What do we need to know?
Okay, we're kind of regrouping. We're going to discuss how to proceed from there. It will be my intent to dissuade them from checking much out further, because I don't want them to go stomping around and finding the big grow.
Mm.
And there is also a television news show going on in the background, and that is where I'm going to stop.
Okay.
Okay, so there's a news channel there as well.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you're at the ranger's office.
Well, I mean, the like news channel isn't there necessarily. There
It's
is
on the TV.
it's on TV. Yes.
Okay.
And whatever story may be on there, people can throw in to.
Okay.
Actually, no. It's even better. Is I'm trying to keep them all distracted from watching the thing, because there's a story on about the escape from a like regional prison.
Excellent.
Yes.
Okay. So I guess you're headed. You're up at the lodge, and Dave is behind the desk, and behind him there's a TV playing this. Up on the wall there's the TV playing the news of an escaped convict, and
Who's
it's
still not been found.
Yeah, it's down pretty low, but so he can't. So he's not hearing your name or anything coming out, but it's like we're sort of here, and then it's like.
So what we need to do then is, I personally think we don't have to worry about this section of the map over here as I'm pointing the thing out on the map, and I'm looking over and I'm seeing my own face plastered out big as life on that television.
Ginger's eyes just go.
This part of the map over here. See, check
What
check
are you?
the map closely. You see.
What? Hang. No, that's what the
I think
island.
I think you should all step a lot closer so you know what I'm really.
Yeah. Everybody get closer.
Well, that's
What he's saying is important.
That's that dry island out in the middle of the swamp. There ain't nothing there.
That's what
There's
I'm
there's
saying.
something there.
We definitely don't want to go looking there for whatever this thing is that we all saw.
Hey, Billy,
Yeah.
where did you say your friend came from?
Oh, actually, across. He's visiting. He's my cousin. He's from Ireland.
I don't think there's anything. I mean, we've been over that spot quite a few times. I don't think there is anything out there. So I mean, it's a little tricky getting up onto that sandbar. But if you all want, we've got some boats out.
Oh,
if you need to.
I just wanted to emphasize the point that we don't need to check it.
It might be worth checking, though. Sorry, did an impression of you there just now.
No one really goes around that part of the park. No one's supposed to go down there anyway, because that part of the park's been is supposed to be left as part of the preserve. So there's not really any.
Now, hell, that's probably where the beast is then.
That wasn't where we were, Billy.
Look,
I'm sure the beast is a wide-ranging individual.
Well, the beast, if they're out there, is not definitely not interested in people. All right, so there's not. You're probably not going to run into anything, but that's people aren't supposed to be out there anyway.
I mean, it seemed a little interested in Billy and his cousin.
You all right? You all right, miss?
Yeah, I'm just a little thirsty.
Yeah, maybe you should go get her some water. Make sure you get the bottled stuff, Ranger Dave.
Oh yeah, I've got a fridge full of it in the back. Hang on.
Is that behind his desk?
He's pointing toward the wall where there's a little mini fridge, and the TV is
actually,
up on the wall.
Let me take care of that. How about I take care of that for you?
Well, I mean, this is no, it's all right. You don't have to combine that. It's all right.
No, it's okay. I'll take care of it. I think I'll be able to find it.
How do we think this is going to go for Bones?
I don't think it's gonna end well.
Well, we already know Katie definitely got a look at the TV.
Yeah.
Or Ginger got a look at the at the TV story.
To be fair, though, she isn't spilling the beans.
Yeah, it's true.
But she is acting awkward as hell. But she's not spilling the beans.
So, do we think this is gonna? So, do we think this is gonna end? Actually, I mean, this could end well, but I mean, of course, that will make for a very dark second act, but that's always good. Do we want this to end badly or well for Joe?
I'm cool with it ending well and like just saying that Ginger doesn't let it go.
Yeah,
I think I'd be fine with that. Yeah, okay. So it's gonna go well. So as he's like, well, no, look, well, I'm trying. Listen, son. This, I know where things are in the office. People don't need to go around touching stuff in the office.
What? Don't worry about it. I'm just gonna go home. I think I'm getting a cough. I was out too late.
Oh, look, it's no trouble. And as he's turning around, the story changes and they're on to a personal interest story. And he turns around and he just goes up and he looks at Stevie and he's like, "Huh, yeah, I'm glad they finally found that dog." Good. He goes and he gets a bottle of water out the
man's best friend.
Poor puppy. And Ginger just isn't making eye contact at all.
Excellent. All right, so I think that's a good place to hit the where we hit the tilt. Mark, who do you want to give that die to?
That die is going over to Tim because by confluence with it going well for me, it kind of goes well for him too.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
in similar ways.
Cool. All right, so now here's how this works. There is a tiny apologies in advance. There's a tiny bit of math involved, but if assuming I'm remembering this correctly. First, we roll our own dice, which if you want to do it, if you want me to do it, I'll do it for you. But otherwise, it's just a question of right-clicking on the die, going to multi-sided, and then random side. Or what you can do is highlight all of your dice if you don't want to do them one by one, and it'll do it that way too.
Rolling. I got like the same stuff. Oh no, one of the three turned into a 5.
Okay, did everybody get to roll, or do you want me to, or do you wish me to?
I think we all rolled.
Did everybody roll? Okay, so what you do is you add up all of the. I have practiced many different ways of saying this, and I have yet to hit on one that's short. But here we go. You add up all of each color, and you see which total is higher. You subtract the smaller total from the higher total. And whichever color total is higher, that's the sort of the direction, the lean is it. So, for example, Katie has a 5 on the black die and 2 on the white die. So 5 minus 2 is 3, and so she has a black 3 result. I have a black 2 result, and as Mark has a 6. White 6 and Tim.
White 7 actually.
White 7 because again I can't count. I did this last time.
You don't multiply the dice together; you add them together.
Yeah, I know. What the heck? And Tim's dice cancel out.
Yeah, 0.
So I believe, that leaves it up to Katie and Mark to decide the tilt. So now we roll the dice in the center, which I'll go ahead and take care of. So that way, so I'll just do it all in one swell foop. And hopefully everyone can see the same die numbers. And if you go to the tilt table that should be in your documents that I sent linked over to you, this is just like the relationship table. And the way this will work is, you can decide whichever one of you wants to go first. But the idea is Katie will select a category, and Mark will choose the element under that category, and Mark will select a category, and Katie will choose the element under that category. These are 2 things that will flavor Act 2 in there. So you can go ahead and take the out of what dice are available in the center, which I'll go ahead and regroup real quick for you in the pattern that I see.
Oh, what's up with that? You moved. Yeah, the 3 and the 6 got switched again. That
Yeah.
3 that's off on its own.
Okay,
it looks
which
like the 6 at the end of the line of 3s, the bottom.
okay, so the 6 at the that's down there should be a 3.
The second black 6, at the bottom. Of the
Wait a minute. So is
that
that the
one? Looks, that's right. Now it's a 3, and the other one, the one off on its own, should be a 6.
Okay, and is it a 6 or
Not at this point.
not at this
It's a
point?
3
Let
to
me
me.
go ahead and change that to a 3. There we go. Are you? Or actually, no.
No, to a
Change it to a
6.
6. Yeah, I'm changing it to what you're seeing. 4,
It still looks like a 3 to me.
It
It's
does
weird.
right now.
does.
But how does
Yeah,
it look
now
now?
it's-
it's 6.
There we go. Excellent. Technology. All right, so you've got 2 1s, 2 3s, 2 5, 2 1s, 3 3s, 2 5s, and a 6. So you can get to choose from there. And between the two of you, Mark and Katie, how do you want to do that?
Katie, go ahead.
All right. I'm going to choose 5 for paranoia.
Okay.
Where do I put it? Anywhere
It's
specific?
just pull it aside. I'm going to write it down because I did not. I did not create a special area for it.
Yeah, that's much. I didn't want it to get mixed up like we had earlier.
No worries.
Yeah. So paranoia.
And Mark can choose the die to use under paranoia.
Yes. I'll use the 6. Somebody is watching, waiting for their moment.
Ooh.
Okay.
Good.
And where's the?
I'll move it for you.
Track.
I'll put it up there.
I see it now.
Yeah. Somebody is watching, waiting for their moment. Excellent. And Mark, you get to choose a category.
My category, I'm going to pick one of the 3s for innocence.
Okay.
Pick the naughty 3 that didn't want to be a 3.
What can I pick under innocence? There's some really good ones in here.
Ooh, I like number 3. I sure hope we keep pick number 3.
Make it easily happen.
That one and Somebody Is Not Innocent After All are really good.
Those are both great, yeah.
Yeah.
Which is great considering how many of us are guilty already.
I know.
Yeah, it's true. Like that, just like at least 3 criminals or former criminals in the. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Somebody Is Not Innocent After All.
All right.
Ooh.
Somebody.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. So somebody is not so innocent after all. And so we've got that. Those are going to be the elements that we are throwing into when we're tilting our scenes in Act 2. What we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, 5-10 minutes, and we will come back. And during the break, we'll kind of talk a little bit about the how things are going and if there's anything we need to hit on, that sort of thing. That's the thing you're supposed to do with Fiasco during your break time, but we're not gonna subject you to that. But then we'll come back and we'll do Act 2. So take care, and we will see you shortly. We have returned, and now we are once again doing this. We're going to be doing Act 2, and the main thing that separates Act 2 from Act 1 is that when you get a die at the end of the scene, you keep that die. So mechanically, that's the only real difference between the two. Also, we're going to be trying to use our tilt elements as much as we can in these scenes. So keeping that in mind, the tilt elements we chose: paranoia, somebody is watching, waiting for their moment, so that's got to be incorporated somewhere. That's going to happen. It could be one of us, it could be someone else, we don't know. And innocence, somebody is not so innocent after all, and that's probably a revelation more for the end, I'm guessing. But could easily be someone could do a heel turn, we don't know. And again, this doesn't necessarily, it could be any of the characters or an NPC, it could be anyone. But let's go ahead and get started again, and let me make sure that actually I've got all the dice back to the center so we see what we're working with. We have 3 white dice left and 5 black dice, so it's going to be nice and a nice and grim conclusion to this.
We're
I think
fail a lot.
so much failure, so much delicious failure. So let's see, it's my scene now, and I think what I'm going to do is actually I'm going to resolve again, I think, for my character. What situation do you think we're starting out the second act with for Rico?
What if you are like in, what if you're going over like some shot footage and you discover that some of your footage has been destroyed?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
Like that, yeah.
Like some of
I-
it's gone.
I think that sort of plays into paranoia too. You don't
Yeah.
know who's done it, but you feel like, oh shit, someone's out to get me.
Okay.
And maybe it's footage that was nearer to the dope stash or the dope growing area or something.
Ah.
Yeah.
So is that all that's happening in this scene, or is there anyone else in the scene with me, or am I just looking at it and
Done.
that's it?
Done. Dramatic music.
Just dramatic music. Okay. So
Yeah, and I think you can sort of like maybe it's like it's like probably like descriptions of the things you're seeing and stuff, but that I think it's just you. It's just Rico freaking
Okay.
out.
All right, so I'm looking at this, and I'm looking at what the hell, and just sort of stopping, and I'm looking at it, and it's that scene. It's something we shot. That one of the. It's like it's an interview that I did with Ranger Dave, and then there's some footage later of where I was carrying the camera and I was talking, and I'm just sort of looking at it and I'm like, what the hell? I shot this. What the? And I go back over, and then I just sort of look back over at the look at this where it cuts, and it's like, what the heck is happening here? And then it's like anytime that it gets, I go through, and it's like anytime it gets near the stash, or where the stash is supposed to be, it just cuts out and goes to static, and I'm just like, someone has broken the oaths of brotherhood. And I'm pissed off immediately, like 0 to 60, and I stand up and I pick up my machete and I head out the door to my hotel room. And so that went bad for me, I believe. And so there we are.
Someone has broken the oaths of brotherhood.
Yes, because I think that they're trying to protect the stash, or they've gone in and messed with it.
Oh god.
Katie, your turn. Do you want to establish or resolve?
I think I'm gonna resolve.
Okay, what situation is Ginger in?
I think Ginger's trying to prove that the monster is a ghost to somebody, or to Rico, maybe. Or maybe that's not appropriate. I don't know.
Could be.
Just a thought there.
She's not going to get very far, probably just off the bat, because he's right now baying for blood. But
or maybe she goes to find Rico to tell him about this.
Oh yeah, he's
and
not...
finds that he's charged off with his machete.
Yeah. Does she? Yeah, that would go. Does maybe? Okay, so since she's resolving, why don't we say that I've left the door to my hotel room open.
Yeah.
And she goes in, and I'm not there. And I think we'll leave it up to her since she's resolving the scene. If she finds anything else of interest in there, and she can decide if that's going to mean whether that's good or bad for her.
Okay. Yeah, so she like is looking for Rico, and she goes in and like she sees the door open and she's like, Rico. And when she doesn't find him in there, she like sees all the camera stuff and all the information. I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna. And she like begins to go through like all the information that he has on Sucker Creek and the tits, but then she begins to realize that there's like no information on the beast, but it's all information on this big dope grow and like land information and information on how much like it sells for. And she's like, oh my God. And yeah, she just continues to look through this, and I think it goes bad because I think like her dreams are crushed of her hero. Yeah, I definitely think it goes bad for her.
Awesome.
Okay,
so you take that die. And so now we're to Tim. And so do you want to establish a resolve?
I think I'm going to resolve.
Okay. So many resolutions. Okay, what's happening to Billy? Where is Billy? Where do we think he is? Well, he's seen the beast, so there's got to be something to come out of that. So, but he still wants to keep people away from it since he knows that it's real. Maybe the problem is that it actually is kind of near where the stash is, and so he's got to figure out. Is he trying to do something to lure it away? Is he going to be that brave, or is he trying to talk to someone about it? What do we think? Because we can have him doing whatever we like.
I was gonna say I could think it could be him finding out that like Ranger Dave is going out that way one day, and him trying to stop Ranger Dave, or him finding like a couple hiking out that way and trying to stop this couple from going out to like this swamp area by like, who knows what Billy would say, but like trying to convince them to stop.
It could go either way. Mark, what do you think? Which of these two scenarios do you think we could
I'm kind of tending towards the Ranger Dave one, really. I think that's it gives us the more immediate.
It does follow the law. And they already brought up that area to him as one to stay away from, especially. So he's probably curious, and that does also bring up the law of conservation of NPCs that I believe that was introduced eons ago by Paul Tevis. Okay, I can see that. So it's kind of like near where Ranger Dave is probably out, sort of skirting around the area that he'd otherwise need a boat for. Getting up toward where the sandbar is, and so maybe you're just there, and you're trying to. So you've been trying to keep people away or sort of figure out what to do, and so he comes up to you.
Hey, Dave.
Oh, it's Billy, right?
Yeah, that's me.
What are you doing here?
Well, I was just, looking around. I saw some weird stuff here this morning.
Yeah.
Didn't
we just talk about folks not wanting to, not needing to come out here? I thought that was what you were saying, right?
No, I mean, I was saying there was definitely something interesting in these parts, but it wasn't the sort of thing people should be looking into, So I thought maybe I'd take a look at it. But also I really did want to talk to you, Ranger Dave. That's really the main thing. Well, it's about your diet. Fiber can really help you with the situation down there. You need to eat some apples. That's what I think.
All right. Well, listen. I'm here because you specifically brought this area to my attention. And I'm checking it out to make sure it's safe. So I got to do that, okay? I'll be happy to talk to you all about my diet later.
Well, I don't know how far you're going to get with the nutrition the way it is. I'm kind of worried about you, sir.
Well, that's nice, but I've got a job to do right now, son. So just let me take a look here, all right?
Well, maybe I'll go with you. How about that? How about I can help you out. I can I take an apple out of my backpack and shine it on my shirt.
So how do you think this? How do you think this is going to go for you?
Not well.
Okay, so Ranger Dave just sort of looks at you, shakes his head, and he says, "Son, I'm going to be nice.
So you can take
go
the
back
apple.
to. If you want to give me the apple, give it to me at the lodge. If you want to talk, I'll be there in about an hour. Get out of here now."
I'll leave it on your desk. Have a good day.
That's if that'll get you out of my hair, fine.
And Billy leaves dejected.
Okay.
and cursing because he needs to find an excuse to get to find a way out. Stop the mess.
So that is the black die to you, and then it is Mark's turn.
I'm going to resolve.
Surprise, surprise.
So many resolutions.
Well, the last act tends to be that way. So
this is true. So what do we want to do to Joe? Where is he? What's he doing?
I think somebody tipped off the police. I mean, he's been all over the news, and he's had only
it's true. He's only had a fake mustache and glasses, so
he's no Superman.
Yeah. So
would he be like maybe hiding out somewhere?
Yeah, that's probably it. Maybe he's in Billy's basement. If they have a basement, it's a swampland, so probably don't.
Oh yeah, no. If it's swamp, no. But
it wouldn't be.
So like he'd probably, if he's hiding out, he'd probably be hiding out at Billy's place. So that's like, does Billy live with anyone, or is it just
it's just him? Billy?
Just Billy. Okay. And so maybe if he's at Billy's place, then maybe a cop pulls up outside. And so
they do a pod growing in the back, so it's not.
Yeah, so it's like
not a really good situation either way.
They might know. That's. But this is Mark's scene. So
maybe Billy's not home.
What does? So I guess and feel free, other Katie, Tim, to give some direction as to what happens with what the police are doing and all that. But Mark, what's Joe doing? He's basically at his house, and he sees. He just basically hears a car pull up outside, and he looks and sees that it's a cop car.
Maybe they're showing his picture to strangers. Oh, sorry.
Maybe they have been.
Let's see. Probably be a matter of just a second. A tremendous coincidence. They're really more about the pot stash, and they're heading towards the back.
Okay.
They don't really come to the door. They just start going around the side of the house.
Excellent. So what does Joe do in reaction to that?
He's going to watch them pass by, look back out at their car left sitting on the curb.
Uh-oh.
So we need to kind of step out quietly as they're going around the other corner there, and get to their car and be driving off in it just as they're coming back around to like call this in.
One of them takes their hat off and throws it on the ground.
Stomps on it.
So that is a white die for you, sir.
Yeah, that went really well for you.
Excellent. Okay, so this is the last round of scenes. And we're still at 50-50 here, so this is cool. So let's see. I think for Rico, I think I'm going to go ahead and establish. I think this has got to be a showdown of some kind, or him him preparing for one, he thinks that someone, that a cosmopolitan, because they're the only ones who knew about this, have gone in and messed up his footage. They somehow got a hold of it. He's not thinking reasonably that maybe it could just have been, mess up with the camera, or that Ginger might have made a mistake or something like that. He's just totally now just out for blood. So I think he would probably, logically speaking, he would probably. Okay. I think, honestly, this is, he would, if he by now knows where Billy lives, he would probably be showing up at Billy's house, wielding a machete with the cops there.
Yes.
And so I'm not sure how this is going to go for Rico, but I think it'll be very interesting to find out. I think we got a little time, so if someone would like to be a couple of cops, be a cop and someone else be the other cop, or
I can be a
one.
cop.
Yeah, I'll be one.
okay. Basically, these cops are sort of on their radios on the porch, and they see this man in leather, armless leather vest and pants and wielding a machete, come out with the come out of the bushes, and he's like storms forward, just slowly lowers the machete.
Someone took our car, man, and wait, someone's here.
And just considers sidling back. Just sort of waves.
You just hear this cop, dispatch. We got a 1096 over here.
He slowly is putting
Which is the code for a mentally disturbed person, by the way.
putting the machete back in his sheath.
Oh wait!
Afternoon, officers.
Aren't you that guy?
By the way, it's Rico Sanchez, the celebrity. I think he's lost.
Yeah, him.
Yeah. I'm the Manhunter. Yeah. You
Why are you
folks
wielding
watch the
a machete, sir?
Well, I was just
Because he's manhunting.
practicing, yeah, for a shoot. That's you've seen the undergrowth back there.
He doesn't have a license to wield that.
He had that one TV show once, remember?
Yeah.
I know, but that doesn't mean he can wield a machete.
Well,
This is clearly a 1096.
I don't want to disturb you, folks, from your job, officers. So I guess I'll be on my way. We're here, looking for the beast, and so.
Oh yeah,
just
you're
coming around.
He's clearly crazy.
No, it's the show. It's the show. We have we go looking for cryptids, and that's all I was doing, just scouting around.
So you're not manhunting the guy that was living here then?
I only do that on the side these days, but so I'm not after him. Why has he done something?
There is so much weed in that backyard, man. I mean,
no.
Are you sure you don't? I mean, we don't really have a car right now. Are you sure you don't want us to take you somewhere? You'll have juice and cookies. It'll be very nice.
is your car nearby?
How does this? How's this going to go for me?
I'm actually really pushing for a good here, but what is everybody else?
I think you could convince. I mean, like.
Well, I think you could either way, because if my car is nearby, then it's basically like, and it goes badly, then we just sort of cut to me very nervously driving with a couple of cops in my car.
That's it. That's got to be what happens.
You have to give us a ride back to the station.
Awesome. Okay. So I'll take a black die for that if that's you folks are, if that's okay with you folks, if that's what
Sure.
you do. Okay.
Do it.
All right. So we just cut this. We're just sort of sitting there, very quietly driving. I'm just sort of with this look of rage on one side of my face. I'm like, I'm driving these cops back to their station. station. Awesome. And Katie, it's your turn.
All right.
I'm going to establish, and
Okay.
I'm gonna. It's going to be just Ginger in the scene, and so you see Ginger like in this sort of like warehouse, like the kind, like the pack and stow kind of warehouses, and like there's just one like single bulb above her. And as you like zoom in, and this is gonna be a really quick scene,
Okay.
you see Ginger like break this piece of thread with her teeth. And as you zoom out, you see Ginger working on a beast costume.
Oh.
Oh boy.
This is very nicely going to play into somebody watching, waiting for their moment, I think. And do we think this is a positive or a negative? I'm kind of feeling positive, but what do you fellas think?
Well, she's making progress toward what she wants, right? She's going to try to trick people into thinking the beast is real. So I'd say it's positive.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it turns out it's going to be a really good beast costume.
Yeah, it's going to work out.
Very believable.
Excellent.
Though it won't necessarily convince people who know what the beast actually looks
Yeah,
like.
she hasn't really seen the beast, so it's just what she thinks. She's seen the outline, so she knows that much, but it's still a good costume.
If it's got like fur and stuff, it's not going to have the mud and the slime.
Yeah,
or whatever.
totally. And Tim, your scene, do you want to establish or resolve?
Oh boy,
Your last scene.
I think I want to resolve.
Okay. We still have someone not being so innocent after all on the table, but that can come up anytime. Like I said, what do we want? What situation do we want to put Billy in at this point? We know that he tried unsuccessfully to get Ranger Dave away from that area.
And the cops have found the weed at his house.
And the cops have found the weed at his house, so his house isn't necessarily safe. But the cops aren't there anymore. So what is Billy doing? What do we think Billy? What situation do we want to put Billy in? For his last major scene. Also, for those who have not played before, we don't have to absolutely end things with the final scene because there's an aftermath mechanic, and we're gonna get to that how things actually end up there. But
okay.
So he's resolving?
He's going to be resolving, so we have to establish.
So maybe he's trying to find a different way around to warn the people doing the grow about Ranger Dave poking around.
That makes sense.
Okay. What do we think he's? So he's like.
Has Joe? I mean, maybe Joe has contacted Billy somewhere to meet up somewhere. Nondescript.
Yeah. Or it's like.
Or we're going to meet at the grow and harvest right now. And book it out of here. I don't know. Sorry, just an idea.
Well, if he's trying to warn the weed folk, then that they could be at the grow. Is that kind of, do you think, where we want to put him, or do we want to put him somewhere else doing some other kind of warning away, or do we want him chopping up Ranger Dave with an axe, as someone in the chat has suggested, or what do we want him doing?
Why, chat? Why?
I mean, I could see getting a gun or something. Like, I could need to get a gun.
Why?
Maybe I have one back in my house. I mean, I don't know.
Well, where do we want to put him?
But he's just finished with like Ranger Dave, and he gets the cell phone call from Joe.
Okay, so he's in the he's working around. Maybe he's booking it back to the grow to try to tell them to bug out or something, and he's got the cell phone call. Yeah. Okay, works for me. Let's say that's what's happening, and we'll see where that scene goes.
Cups found your stash, man.
Oh fuck! I had to impersonate you again. Maybe they'll think you're me.
I don't know if they saw me.
Did you check in the attic for the costume that looks like me? Do you have that with you?
I don't have that, no, but I do have their car.
Okay, then that's an advantage that we could. What the hell do you have their car for? There's gonna be major heat on you.
I'm on my way. Just make sure that the people know to be careful.
Be careful. I mean, how am I supposed to get back to you? You have another country to go back to. I live here, man.
I can't say too much over an open line,
You think you've been wiretapped on your cell phone.
That's what you keep telling me.
Well, no, it's all about the genetics and the landlines. That's what they're doing. They're injecting you with steroids through the landline. Your cell phone should be clean.
Just let them know. Turn it off. And
I can grumble and book it for the grow, I guess.
How do you think that went for you, sir?
Not very well.
Okay.
I mean, it just occurred to me that the heat is on him, and if he's coming to the grow, he's just going to bring people with him, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cop car.
Fair enough. So go ahead and take the black die for you, Tim. Now, just as a reminder for folks, the final die, it's a white die left on the board there, but for the purpose of this last scene, it can be either a positive or a negative outcome because it's that part's wild for the final scene. So this is the final scene. What, Mark, do you want to establish or resolve?
I'll resolve.
Okay. So let's see. We know that he's off trying to.
I'm just police chase, right?
Yes.
Yes.
It has to be, right?
Yes.
And he gets and he's right outside the park. He gets and then he has to book it on foot.
This has to be like Joe's internal monologue during a police chase.
Yes.
It has to be.
Yes, it must.
Excellent. So and Mark gets to decide how this goes, but yeah, it's like they're after you. They've got their sirens on. You may have your sirens on if you want, just to confuse them. And you sort of pull up through the fence toward basically toward the last area where a car will be able to go on land. And you're forced to go on foot.
Maybe it's right by the water too, so somebody can end up in the drink.
Yeah, so you're forced to go on foot. And so, do you want to give us some James Joyce? What's your what's he thinking right now? What's happening with Joe right now?
Oh, see, this road here, this road here, this road here, and swamp starts here, and that's how we'll get out into the swamp. And this is the scene of the car going in, and the kind of like in that one scene from The Big Hit where you see how Lou Diamond Phillips survives by jumping out of the car at the very last moment before it explodes at the bottom of that cliff.
Oh yes.
The car going in there, and he's coming out. You see the cops all taken up by that there, and he's coming out the other side, all dripping with muck and everything else. And
nice. And so this
and he looks like the creature.
Right? Yes, he comes out looking a little bit like the creature, or he's got the stuff on there. Yeah,
and he's at and it's also coincidentally close to the grow site, so that he comes out there. With everything else happening, awesome. And that can lead us right into.
That leads us into the aftermath. All right, excellent. That is awesome. So here's how we're going to do the aftermath. Now, the way sort of it happens in the rules, we're going to be rolling our individual dice, and I'll talk about the rules later. So go ahead and roll the dice that you have in your box. Actually, we're going to get possibly some positive outcomes here, but let's see.
Not for me.
Has everybody rolled? Or
I have to.
I'm rolling now.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Oh God!
So the math for this is the same as at the tilt. So it's basically whichever So for example, Tim is like 12 minus 7.
It's 7 minus 7, unfortunately.
Is it? You have.
You're seeing the wrong die again.
I'm seeing the wrong die again. Apparently, so is everyone else. I see you've got a black 6, a black 2, and a black 4.
Well, instead of the 6, imagine a 1.
Imagine a 1. Okay. Do you want me to go ahead and set that to? I can go ahead and set
feel
that
free.
To 1. Yeah. All right. So, All right, that's set to 1, and it's still showing as a 6 even for me right now. But I will believe you.
I wouldn't say I don't really want it to be a 1.
Yeah. But no, it's I will take your word for it, sir. Let me fix that so that it's so that it is we get it back to where I guess it should be then. I know we've been doing it the other way thus far, but if you want that to stay a 1, I was able to turn it into a 2, but not into a 1. That's weird.
Yeah. Well, now it's a 1.
Okay.
Back. If you say 1, I say 1.
I do not see a 1, but
whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So you've got basically you've got 0 then, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not good at all. I'm looking at the table. I go, uh-oh.
And Katie, what do you have?
Okay, so how do you do this again?
Okay. You add up the total for each color.
Okay.
And you take the smaller total, you subtract it from the bigger total, and it leans in that
7.
direction.
Okay, so I have 7.
So 7, and is that black?
Yes.
Okay.
I
And
think, yes.
Mark and I have it easy because we just have our own thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to read through the way that for the order for this. Usually, what happens is there's an ending montage where you can take a single die and be like a sliver of it, where it's like, this is me jumping out a window. This is me. And we go around, and the next player says, like, this is me being arrested, or whatever. The more modern style of doing this, and the way they're actually going to be updating it to in the next edition of Fiasco that they're working on right now, is to just say in general what your aftermath is, what happens, and I like to think of it as like, if this is like a final montage in a movie, what do we see happening to your character? And you can go as far into the future or the past or wherever that you want with this. You can do whatever you like. But it's got to be flavored in this direction. Because, however, of the way that usually it goes, with usually the person with the most dice ends up getting the last word in a montage, I think we're going to have Tim go last, if that's all right with you folks, and just cycle around that way. Is that cool? That cool with everybody?
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to start by reading out the result from Mark, and we're going to go clockwise from there. So, Mark, what's your total?
My total is 18 white.
Oh, good Lord. So this is awesomeness is in your future. So, white 13 plus, fan-fucking-tastic. It's fat times ahead, safe and secure, that thing that would make your life better. Oh, you got it, absolutely. And then some more. Enjoy it. And so that's what you're going to be aiming at. I'm going to be aiming at, for the dice that I see in front of me, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I see black 9. And so for me, it's going to be nothing to write home about. Back to where you started, maybe sore and broke, just like yesterday and tomorrow. You probably learned something, though, like how to do it right next time. Next time. So that's going to be my my result. And Katie, what was your result again?
Black 7.
Black 7. Pathetic. You'll suffer. Oh, dear God, will you suffer? And everyone will know of your malfeasance, your stupidity, your lack of common sense and decency. You're probably going to be locked up, too. So that's kind of what you're going to be aiming that at. And Tim had a 0. So, the worst thing in the universe. This probably doesn't include death, since death would be way better than whatever this is. Be creative and don't settle for the first worst thing that comes to mind. There's something darker, more awful, more wretched in there somewhere.
Oh, wow.
And that's the 0 result for both tables. And so that, Tim, will be what you are aiming at for your character. But we will start our aftermaths with Mark. Mark, tell us what do we see happening to your character in his final scenes?
Okay, you see him. There's just this sort of like remnants of the police line outside of the park, and he's driving out in someone else's car. You're not sure who's somebody associated with the grow, and he's got his a couple of suitcases in the back seat. See the bit where he like gets out, sells those big, and his bit ends with him in a first class seat heading back to the mother country.
Excellent. And I think for Rico the Manhunter, Sanchez, he got the nothing to write home about result. So he takes the he is kept out of pretty much everything to do with the Grow because of the police. They are apparently also fans, so he has to end up talking to them for a while. And he is forced to, when he finally finds the Grow, it's pretty much all been, it's pretty much anything worth getting is gone there. So he pretty much has to just make his special about the beast. He does not find the beast. He still does not think the beast exists. So he basically sends it in. He puts it up online, and that's and has to hire a new camera guy because apparently the camera guy ran off with all the assets. So he's having to deal with that because he turned out not to be quite as reliable or innocent as he thought. So that's what happens to the Manhunter. He keeps having to be the Manhunter. And Katie, what happens to your character?
Yeah, I think eventually it is discovered that all along the beast that was in the swamp was an animatronic that Ginger had created. And the one that like people saw walking around and stuff was her in that suit that she was patching up. And one night she's confronted by Ranger Dave, who is not scared of it whatsoever. And he ends up like suing her for like, I don't know what it would be called, but like, tainting like a national park or something. Yeah, like
Literally.
like for like messing up this government land. And I think she like gets in a lot of legal trouble because she was trying to do this.
The state
Probably
of Kentucky frowns on your activities.
Yeah. I think that's what happens to Ginger.
Awesome. Excellent. And
As for Billy, he trips over. He made it to the Grove just in time to get caught with holding all. But all the stuff is gone except for a tiny bit. And he's trying to shovel it into his shirt, like roll up his shirt and shovel enough weed into it that he can make out with it. But then the cops pull up, get there just in time. Everyone else is already gone, and he ends up not only a brief stint in a prison because for all the weed at his house as well, but then he gets moved to a labor camp where he used to live in a hobbit home, and he eats pickles laden with MSG.
Oh no!
And so all his worst nightmares come true. It turns out they were out to get him.
Not the hobbit home.
Pretty tiny homes.
That is wonderful. That is delightful. Okay, folks. Well, that is Fiasco. That was awesome. That was freaking delightful. That is the game, folks. So thank you so much for playing. This time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go around the opposite way, ask folks to say how you're doing, what you thought of the game, and where people can find you online if they want to, or if they want to find you. So I'm going to start with Katie. Katie, how you doing? And what do you think?
For my first game of Fiasco, I loved it. It was very fun. I've never played that before. You can find me on Twitter at KatieFace. I do a lot of stuff on the internet involved with tabletop gaming. I am the social media and communications director person for Off the Table. That's off_the_table at Twitter and on Twitch. If you just follow me on my personal Twitter, I tweet about where I'm going to be. And yeah, I have something going on every night of the week. So
awesome.
That's where I am.
This is true. I strongly encourage folks to go check out Off the Table. It is a glorious channel. I also just realized I'm going clockwise again instead of counterclockwise. I said I was going to, but too late. Tim, tell us. Same question. What do you think of the game, and where can folks find you?
Well, this is my first time playing Fiasco, and I think this is an amazing game. I also have, this is just terrific. I love it. And I also think, people can find me. Let's just go there. People, who cares what I think? People can find me at mentalcellarpublications.com. That's where all my stuff is. But that's links to my podcasts, which I have one about gaming called Of Mooks and Monsters, which comes out every Wednesday. And I have another one called Alive After Reading, which comes out on Sundays, and that is where I talk to other authors and creative folk. I also write books. So you can find my books under my name, Tim Niederreiter, on Amazon.com, and that includes the Rick Conspiracy series and the Spells of the Curtain series.
Awesome. Yes, definitely folks should check that out. And Mark, same question. How you doing, and what'd you think, and where can folks find you?
Pretty good, awesome game. Then again, Fiasco is one of my old favorites at this point, so it's definitely good. On Twitter, although I don't check it that often, I'm at Tashkal, Tashkal. I'm also on Facebook. That's probably a more easy place to find me there. Up until very recently, I was one of the hosts of the All Games Considered podcast. We ended that recently. I'm still in with the Gutter Skype's Actual Play podcast, where we play a whole lot more Fiasco and Fate and other games like that. And I'm working on a Fate game myself, with a title as yet undetermined. Dealing with it's sort of my old love. It's sort of my love letter to the old White Wolf Street Fighter game. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Awesome. Definitely. And I think folks should check that out. Folks should definitely check out the Gutter Skypes if they're at all interested in actual play, because it is delightful. The folks on there are really fun to listen to. And I had been listening for years, I say. Once again, I'm Jim. I am really happy with how this turned out. I love Fiasco. It's one of my favorite games. And I love that we did also, in the end, we hit the tilt elements, which is sometimes tough to do. That especially someone not being so innocent after all. I loved how that came out with Ginger, and it did really well. You can find me at OtherDoc on Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimmyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writing, and such. Next week, my channel is going to be on hiatus because I'm going to be at Dragon Con, busily swimming through oceans of humanity to reach panels and events related to pretty much every corner of geekery. I'll be back the following weekend, starting Friday, September 7th, when I'll be playing more Thimbleweed Park. On Saturday the 8th, I'll be doing more We Happy Few in the morning, and that afternoon at about 2 p.m. Eastern, I believe it's going to be, we're going to be starting this channel's first short campaign. Matthias, whom you may have seen on Off the Table and other channels, is going to be here running The Cold Ruins of Last Life, which is a setting for use with Dungeon World. It's a dark world in which civilization's fallen and all that remains in its ruins are undead. So we're all going to be playing mummies, liches, ghosts, and the like who've lost their past and are trying to build a future. So I'm really looking forward to that. Again, that'll be September 8th at about 2 Eastern. So come check that out. And but finally, that weekend on Sunday the 9th, we'll be back to one-shots. I'll be running In a Wicked Age, which is a sword and sorcery game by D. Vincent Baker, who wrote Apocalypse World. So I hope you'll join us for that. And I think that will do it. Thanks very much for watching, folks, and take care. It was really awesome getting to play with all these folks, but I will see you all of a sudden.